We are back live from Arena St. Louis, getting ready for our second half of the matchup between the Philadelphia Liberty Bells and the Montreal New Skids on the block. The Liberty Bells are going to be enjoying a power jam. Meliwana picking up that penalty, I believe, in just coming out of the first half. I am joined, as always, by the consummate professional and consummately punctual Single Malt Scott.
I've been here the whole time.
He's just been quiet.
It's great roller derby happening right now on the track.
Meliwana having served her time in the sin bin. She just came out. A little bit of a scramble here coming into the second pass. And Meliwana comes through. Of course, she is not your lead jammer. That title is being enjoyed by number 247, Devoid of Mercy. We also saw heading into the half, we saw number 9, Deb Seriously, being helped into the locker room by the coaching staff of the Liberty Bells. I don't see her on the bench. I think she might be done for the rest of the game.
The score again, 124, the New Skids on the block, 91 for the Liberty Bells. 28:37 remaining on the clock, lined up at the jam line right now. Teflon Donna for Philadelphia, Iron Wench for Montreal. Teflon Donna is the first off the line. Runs into Revolver, looks to the outside. She's going to have to get past Chasing Amy to get through. Iron Wench at the back of the pack. Teflon Donna called for a track cut. She didn't see Chasing Amy back up. And your lead jammer is Iron Wench.
And as we saw so many times in that first half, Iron Wench fully killed the 2-minute jam clock 3 times in the first half. A true testament to the endurance and power and speed of the Iron Wench. It's definitely one of the huge assets that the Montreal New Skids enjoy.
5 in the sky for the Iron Wench. That's a grand slam.
5 in the sky.
5 in the sky. I've never heard that before, but thanks to Derby Line, they brought it to my attention. Big fan of Derby Line.
Is that like Loveline, but for Derby?
It's a Derby podcast.
Huh.
You go back a couple weeks, I was on it.
Ooh.
That's another grand slam for the Iron Wench. The pack slowly moving its way through turn number 4.
And looked like Olivia Face for the Liberty Bells, picking up a penalty there. Helping out the Skids a little bit, thinning out that Liberty Bells pack. Teflon Donna looking to rejoin the pack, and she's going to have to contend with, looks like Chasing Amy.
Revolver and Smack Daddy. Cheese Grater, the last line of defense for Teflon. Tef makes her way through the pack. Chasing Amy sent to the box for a multiplayer block.
But that is only her initial pass, which means that Iron Wench is still picking up points. She's taking a look at Teflon Donna. She going to test her luck? No, she isn't. She calls it off. She extends that New Skids lead. And they're currently enjoying, you're going to have to double check my math. I believe, I'm going to say 50 points. Is that right?
That's not right at all, no.
I'm terrible at math.
The score is 139 Montreal, 91 for Philadelphia. That is a 48-point lead.
It's 2 points off, man. That was pretty close.
Vanessa Seitz on the line for Philadelphia. Meliwana for Montreal. Both teams have a blocker in the box.
Meliwana moving to the outside. It's one of the few times I think I've ever seen a Montreal skater win a foot race against V Diva.
And they're off to the races right now. The pack at a dead stop.
If you're looking for a fun game to play at home, I like to play count the number of strides from turn to turn that V Diva makes. I think the lowest I've seen was 3. 3 huge strides from turn to turn.
It would take me more effort, I think, to breathe while I was counting.
What's that?
I just tired watching that.
Just get tuckered out. Like, yeah. I'm losing weight watching her skate.
Iron Wench jamming for Montreal. Antidote jamming for Philadelphia.
Iron Wench moving up the upside with a quick jump. She keeps her skates inside the track. She is your lead jammer one more time. This has been a huge game for the Iron Wench.
Antidote with one to beat. Surgical Strike sitting on her lap.
A little bit of excitement coming from the bench. Uno Army just jumping around in excitement.
Antidote
signaling for Iron Wench to keep on skating.
Antidote has a track cut that sends her to the penalty box. Montreal enjoying a power jam.
We said this at the beginning of the game that the story of the game was likely going to be discipline. Now it actually is a 50-point lead because I can do that mental math, but Iron Wench has picked up some more points. They're going to probably throw those up on the board very quickly. Iron Wench with a bit of a head fake moving towards the outside. 4 Liberty Bell's blockers trying to stop her right now. Cheese Grater moving in to help her a bit.
When she's fighting her way through, she makes her way past Olivia Face, and that's another grand slam for Montreal.
We talked about this off air, that Montreal did have a huge upset earlier this year when they took down Rat City. You got to be thinking with 6.5 minutes, give or take, into this game, are they trying to have a repeat upset against a dominant team like Philadelphia?
They've never beaten Philadelphia in all the times they've encountered one another. Iron Wench called for a track cut because she put her hand down in bounds. That's a rough penalty. A great call by Divine Intervention, but still hard to swallow for Montreal fans.
That's a penalty there's almost no way of not taking.
Keeps her skates in bounds, but has to put down a couple fingers to keep her balance. Antidote's out of the box for Philadelphia right now. 2 minutes are up, but the time expires just before she can pick up any points. Montreal in penalty trouble right now, Stacks. Wench is in the box. She's joined there by Cheese Grater and Surgical Strike.
Now, this is one of the time we're going to have to take a look at the score. See New Skids with a 156, the Liberty Bells at a 91. There's almost no way to think that the Liberty Bells are not about to cut into that lead, but you got to think that with, what is that, 55 points? With a 65 point. Yeah, 65 point lead.
Philadelphia Liberty Bells coach Paul Williams has to be very excited at this jam right now.
Is there a joke there that I'm not getting, or is his name just Paul Williams?
His name is Paul Williams.
That's cool.
He's a coach.
Got to appreciate it. It's the reality era of Derby.
Philadelphia on a power jam. Their jammer number 24-7. Devoid of Mercy picks up a grand slam. Philadelphia in full control.
Going to say the Liberty Bells just broke triple digits. That pass puts them up to 106. Looks like Georgia W. Tush and Jess Bandit, 2 Montreal roller derby veterans, are holding the line for Montreal, but they're not doing a very good job. Devoid of Mercy is skating through almost unperturbed, but now that I say that, of course, they managed to slow her down.
That's another grand slam for the Liberty Bells. Iron Wench is out of the penalty box and has completed her initial pass. Devoid of Mercy calls off the jam before Wench can put any points on the board. Good jam for the Liberty Bells. They pick up a bunch of points there. Their score is 111. Montreal's 156. Jam number 5 completed. 21 minutes remaining in this bout.
We are nothing if not precise. We are nothing if not precise on Canuck Derby TV. Remember, the Liberty Bells put up a bunch of points in that jam. That is a precise number. It's a very technical Derby term. A bunch of points.
Vanessa Seitz jamming for Philadelphia. Little Mama jamming for Montreal.
Smack Daddy doing an excellent job of blocking so far, but V Diva, Vanessa Sykes just too fast and too strong, it almost looked like. Smack Daddy just coming up a little short.
Little Mama sent to the penalty box.
I was about to say that. Thanks for cutting me off. But
what does that mean?
Well, that means it's a power jam for the Liberty Bells, Scott.
What does that mean in French?
Super jam!
That is a super jam for Philadelphia.
This is not the only Montreal-Philadelphia matchup today. Did you know that?
I did. I announced the first bout between the Independence Dolls and the Sexpos.
In addition to that.
Do you mean football?
Well, soccer, but yeah.
You mean le football?
Le football. Yeah, the Montreal Impact are playing against the Philadelphia, whatever the MLS Philadelphia team name is. Now, one thing I will say, if you're a long-time New Skids on the Block fan, is that Smack Daddy's game has gotten so much more disciplined. A few years ago, Smack Daddy was being running ruts into the penalty box, but so far this game, Smack Daddy has been playing an extremely effective, extremely clean blocking game. A great evolution on her play.
Coming off a big injury last year.
Maybe a little bit of time on the outside, watching the game from the outside in.
Smack Daddy was the World Cup tournament MVP, though, for Team Canada, for the whole tournament.
The whole tournament.
Yep.
I wasn't questioning you, I was just emphasizing what you were saying. And we, with that whistle, are in the middle of another jam.
Antidote started off this jam for Philadelphia on a power jam, but the penalty for Little Mama has expired. She's back on the track. Little Mama is through the pack, and she is the lead jammer.
And if we're looking at the lineup that the Skids put out, you're going to have to think that a star pass is not necessarily part of their strategy. They're going to be relying on Mama right here. They have just Bandit pivoting out there for Montreal. Bandit very rarely jams, so you got to think that they're going to be relying on Little Mama for this one, and so far it's working out.
Montreal in a little bit of penalty trouble right now. Trash and Smash sitting in the penalty box. She's joined there by Surgical Strike, who picked up a forearm penalty.
And those are two of their more dominant physical players, so you got to wonder if this is going to take its toll as the Liberty Bells try to chip away at that lead, now only to 29 points with 18 minutes remaining in this second half.
That's 31 points.
Math is super hard.
The New Skids on the Block score 161. The Philadelphia Liberty Bells 130. 17 minutes and 48 seconds remaining. 7 jams down. And V Diva against Melly Wana on the jam line.
V Diva with her powerful strides just basically walks right up to Smack Daddy and chasing Amy. Smack Daddy with that very good block. However, V Diva maintains her feet, comes back in the track clean, and she is your lead jammer.
Great defense by Philadelphia. Holding back Melly Wana. The pack gets a little spread out. There's a no-pack situation right now. Smack Daddy gets an out-of-play major. They're all majors now.
And I was just saying how disciplined she was playing, but I really do. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure this is one of the first times she's been sent to the outside for a penalty. Very strong physical player, a lot of natural talent in Smack Daddy. Now that she has her discipline, you got to think that she is definitely one of the strengths that the New Skids are rocking against a team as strong and dominant as the Liberty Bells.
The score again, 161 for Montreal, 134 for Philadelphia.
I'm just going to go ahead and say there's 98 points different between these two teams because I know nothing about math.
Numbers hard. Devoid of Mercy jamming for Philadelphia. Iron Wench for Montreal. One to beat for Devoida. She's out of bounds.
Little Mama sending her to the outside, backtracking. Devoida has to go all the way back, but so does Iron Wench. Little Mama's trying to do it one more time. She's probably going to have to let her go. And she does.
Teflon Donna with a huge hit on Iron Wench. Knocks her down. She's about a half track behind Devoid of Mercy.
Divine Intervention signaling no pass, no penalty. Montreal not necessarily lucky right there because Iron Wench did read the pack correctly. However,
no points scored for either team on that jam.
That's what I was about to say. I just drew a blank in what I was about to say next. Thanks for finishing my sentence, Single Mott. That was great.
We're like a team.
Yeah.
Montreal's Ewan Army coach calls a timeout. She wants to talk to her skaters. That lets us say who the sponsors are for this broadcast.
I was actually going to talk a little bit about Ewan Army's great pants. However, I feel that you might be able to buy them at Georgia W. Tush's Neon Skates with locations in both Ottawa and Montreal.
Other sponsors include AMJ Productions, Montreal Roller Derby, and of course, the nuttiest cereal, Holy Crap.
My girlfriend came up to me earlier and was like, do you think Holy Crap cereal will help me? And I think you all know at home what she was talking about. And I said, yes, Holy Crap cereal will help you.
Computer robot Alex is manning the computers. He's on the Twitter. He's on the chat boards.
I'd actually like to say a big thank you to whatever Twitter user provided us with the information that Paul Williams is the Liberty Bells coach, because that came from Twitter.
El Kaboom manning the cameras. Connect Derby TV bringing you the action. And it looks like we've got Antidote jamming for Philadelphia. Mel Iwana for Montreal.
The packs almost split up into two distinct blocking packs, with Antidote having to beat the New Skids and Meliwana having to beat the Liberty Bells, and they came out hot on each other's heel. Jammer on jammer action, a term I like to call scissoring.
Private stacks, everybody. Private stacks.
I'm hoping it catches on. Like, it either will or it won't.
10 jams down. The score is Montreal 161. Philadelphia 134. Iron Wench for Montreal wearing the star. Vanessa V Diva Sights.
And so far, this has been the story of the game. It's Iron Wench versus V Diva. V Diva backtracking way around the pack. This is an interesting point of view. You got to wonder, where is she even entering the pack from at this point? The answer is she's not entering the pack. There's been no initial pass. And with a running start, this is actually the start of the jam.
I love this sport. Mange-moi el cul. This is V Diva. V Diva is the lead jammer. Iron Wench hot on her heels.
What do you call that? When jammer on jammer chasing each other down?
Off to the races?
Scissoring.
Canuck Derby TV would like to remind you that the opinions of Private Stacks are not the opinions of Canuck Derby TV.
It's all right, I'll stop. Just said it twice. If it catches on, it catches on. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Devoid of Mercy wearing the star for the Liberty Bells. Little Mama jamming for Montreal. The temperature is quickly rising here in Arena Saint-Louis in Montreal. And Little Mama is the lead jammer.
I was going to say, right now with 13 minutes left, the Montreal fans are realizing that Montreal has a real chance of winning this thing with, going to say, 27 points separating the two teams. New Skids 161, Liberty Bells 134.
12 minutes 45 remaining. Little Mama with one to beat, and she completes her scoring pass. That is 4 points for the New Skids on the block.
A little bit of victory posing coming out of Smack Daddy and Trash and Smash. They are very happy with how that jam went down. I feel bad now. Elka Boom gave me a couple of dirty looks, and now I feel all guilty.
She was not the only one.
Felt dirty looks coming in from the internet. The whole internet giving me dirty looks. Through Elka. Straight into my soul.
Iron Wench jamming for Montreal. Antidote jamming for Philadelphia.
Antidote. I was going to say Georgia W. Tush using some of her jammer speed to try to slow down Georgia W. Try to slow down Antidote. Antidote has to give that one up as Iron Wench just powers past her.
The crowd going very wild as Iron Wench wins that foot race.
You can call it a foot race. I'll call it whatever I want to call it.
If you call it any number of school supply activities, that's it.
Protractors. compasses.
Looks like V-Diva on the line for Philadelphia. She's going to be skating against Meliwana for Montreal.
I was going to say that this is an interesting matchup. A very, very strong veteran V-Diva against a relatively new WFTDA rookie, Meliwana, and we saw how that worked out. V-Diva broke her way through the pack with authority, and Meliwana is trailing far behind on the pack.
V-Diva calls off the jam after picking up 3 points and keeping Montreal off the scoreboard. Looking at the scoreboard right now, jam number 14.
It's a 28-point difference. I did the math.
Montreal's leading 165 to Philadelphia's 137. 10 minutes, 39 seconds remaining. This is an intense bout. I'm super excited.
Going into this bout, a couple of us were predicting there'd be 100 to 150 point spread between these two teams, and instead we're looking at a 28-point difference the other way. And we thought that the Liberty Bells were going to be dominating, but the Montreal New Skids on the block have answered the call to Philadelphia. They have never beaten Philadelphia. They're definitely looking for the win here tonight. Would send a huge message to the Eastern Regional Division of the WFTDA.
Iron Wench is the lead jammer for Montreal. Number 24-7, devoid of mercy, looking to complete her initial pass.
This is what we were talking about a little bit earlier. We're seeing Iron Wench skating very, very gingerly. She has been going full tilt now for both halves of this game. And you got to wonder if fatigue is going to be a factor, but she's digging deep and trying to find those reserves, but so far has yet to make her second pass. However, I stand corrected. If you can hear the crowd at Arena St. Louis right now, Iron Wench picks up 4 big points for Montreal New Skids on the block. 9 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. Montreal enjoying a 32-point lead. If they can manage to stay out of penalty trouble, play a disciplined game, this game might just be theirs for the taking.
Stepping up to the line, it's V-Diva. She's going to be going up against Meliwana.
You're just staring at me.
Very good looking.
I was going to say, if you were going to try to grade the impact assessment that a Montreal New Skids win would have right now on the Liberty Bells, in terms of not only rankings, but in terms of who is the number 2 team in the East, well, how would you grade that?
Well, I would say it's still anyone's game. It's a little bit early to call, especially as Meliwana is just called off for a track cut. It is now a power jam for Philadelphia.
2 New Skids players in the box. This is where Philadelphia is going to try to take advantage. They have the veteran and strong skater V-Diva out there on the track. They have 1 minute and 17 seconds at least to benefit from this situation.
5 in the sky for V-Diva as Little Mama, Revolver, and Meliwana sit in the sin bin. V-Diva tries to fight her way through and succeeds. 5 in the sky. Another Grand Slam.
We have Little Mama, we have Cheese Grater, and you're going to need to help me out with that last one, Single Malt.
That is Surgical Strike, who just gets knocked out of bounds in turn number 1. Penalty trouble is not what they need right now. Montreal in all kinds of trouble, but Philadelphia really taking advantage of it.
It's Thanksgiving for the Liberty Bells because they are just carving into that lead.
Well, you know what they say about V-Diva? She is like the mailman.
She delivers?
She always delivers.
Meliwana manages to make her initial pack. Referee Divine Intervention, of course, signaling she is not your lead jammer.
A very big jam for the Liberty Bells here. Looking at the scoreboard right now for an update. Montreal leading still 169, but Philadelphia score 162 points.
And this
6.5 minutes remaining.
I was going to say, this comes back and completely to what we were saying at the beginning of the bout, where discipline will be the difference maker in this game. Montreal lost a little bit of discipline, and now they're only having a 7-point lead. The Liberty Bells cutting into it in a big way with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock.
That looks like antidote jamming for Philadelphia. She is out in front. She is the lead jammer. Iron Wench for Montreal. No, I'm a little surprised they didn't call a timeout there. Antidote on her scoring pass in the middle of the pack. Iron Wench a quarter of a track behind them. Two points for Philadelphia. Antidote calls off the jam. 5 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. The New Skids on the block leading 169 to 164. The Philadelphia Liberty Bells coach Paul Williams calls a timeout. Canuck Derby TV, sponsored in part by The Rev, grabbing Private Stax' butt.
You touched my private slacks.
Canuck Derby TV couldn't do it without help from viewers like you.
Sure, if you're sitting there watching our very high quality stream on the internet and you're saying, wow, I can't believe this is free, guess what? It's not entirely free. Canuck Derby TV generally pays for its operating costs completely out of its own pocket unless you, sitting at home, clicks the donation button and donates a little bit of your money to help keep this high quality, high entertainment stream of live roller derby rolling into your house no matter where you are in the world.
Yeah, we really couldn't do it without the help from viewers like you.
Like we're talking to you, Dave.
Sam.
Gonna say Jennifer.
Jennifer's ready to click the donate button. The timeout is over. V-Divas jamming for Philadelphia, and there's the lead jammer. Georgia W. Tush jamming for Montreal, stuck at the back of the pack.
The New Skids are in penalty trouble right now. They only have two blockers there to help out Tush. Tush does make it through. She's not quite hot on V-Diva's heels, but she is there. V-Diva takes a fall, calls it off. She can only grab 4 points where she might have been able to grab more. However, that is enough to put the Liberty Bells at 1 point away from the New Skids on the block. Score 169 New Skids, 168 Liberty Bells. There's 5 minutes left in this bout.
The tension, the excitement of this bout. I feel
Palpable.
like my whole voice has gone up a whole octave.
The tension is palpable. If there was unforgiving steel, someone would be crashing into it.
Devoid of Mercy breaks through the pack as she is the lead jammer. Iron Wench. One to beat, she's through.
Iron Wench managed to make it through with only one blocker, Jess Bandit, out there for the New Skids. Little Mama joining to help out Bandit.
Devoid of Mercy picks up a grand slam, calls off the jam. You know what that means.
Lead change.
And since we're the bosses, you have to finish your drink.
Oh man. I just got a new drink.
Philadelphia takes the lead, 172 to Montreal's 169.
Looks like this is going to go jam to jam for the next 4 minutes. At this point, a power jam would be huge for both teams. Both teams are going to not want to make any mistakes. They have two blockers for the New Skids in the box, one blocker for Philadelphia. Lead jammer is an enormous asset to have. They're going with the veteran, Georgia W. Tush. She able to get help out, and she is not.
Antidote is the lead jammer, half a track ahead of the pack. Georgia W. Tush has been recycled thanks to the efforts of Olivia Face.
And the pivot Just Bandit is sent to the outside. The Skids are going to need to batten down the hatches and play a disciplined game for the next 3 minutes and 20 seconds if they want to eke out a win against the surging Liberty Bells.
The Liberty Bells antidote with a grand slam. That is 5 points. Georgia W. Tush has completed her initial pass. Is hot on her heels. Hot on her wheels.
Just going to say that from now on, I guess.
Antidote calls off the jam. Georgia W. Tush picks up 3 points. Antidote picks up another 2. 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. The score is the Philadelphia Liberty Bells, 180 points. Montreal's New Skids on the block, 171. 20 jams done so far in this second period of this bout.
With 30 seconds more than your average commercial break, it's gut check time for the New Skids on the block. They need to make up 9 points and hopefully tie the game and ideally get the lead if you're the New Skids. The Liberty Bells right now trying to shut the New Skids down and get the lead that they, or get the win that they so desperately, maybe not desperately, but they so very much want.
The fans desperately want it.
The fans on Twitter?
Are they following Canuck Derby TV?
They better be.
It's not hard. It's at Canuck Derby TV. Iron Wench and V-Diva battling on the outside of turn number 2.
V-Diva pushing Iron Wench to the outside. Iron Wench coming in clean. She's looking for a path around the outside. V-Diva.
And the crowd goes bananas.
Bananas. You could have said wild, but you were like, no, I'm going to go weird and old-timey.
Iron Wench calls off the jam after picking up 2 points.
Divine intervention, throwing her own hand up there. She thought she got 2 points. The jam ref for the Liberty Bells has yet to put his hand up. So far, no score for the Liberty Bells. There's a referee, looks like it's going to be a referee timeout, as some discussion is going to be had whether or not.
Yeah, this is an official timeout. This official timeout brought to you by our sponsors, AMJ, Montreal Roller Derby, Georgia W. Tush's Neon Skates, with locations in Ottawa and Montreal, and Holy Crap Cereal.
The Mount Royal skater Tank is descending into the crowd, getting a Let's Go New Skids chant going on. I really wouldn't disagree with him. Tank is a scary, scary man.
All right, so 1 minute 25 left on the clock. Philadelphia with an 8-point advantage right now. Time for 1, maybe 2 more jams. Lead jammer could not be more important.
You got to also think that a power jam, one way or the other, would seal the fate on either team, whichever team gives up that power jam. Looks like the New Skids are gonna be going with the veteran founder of Montreal Roller Derby, Georgia W. Tush.
Team Canada member. She's going to be skating against Antidote for Philadelphia. Montreal in a bit of penalty trouble. Lady J and Surgical Strike both sitting in the penalty box. Their blockers are Cheese Grater and Little Mama. Philadelphia on the track right now has Castro, Damage Doll, and one other skater who's hiding her number.
We have team captain Cheese Grater inside in a huddle with the referee. The referee's signaling to Coach Paul Williams from the Philadelphia Liberty Bells. Coach UN1 Army is already out there. There are all kinds of people in that huddle. You gotta try and figure what's going on. If we recheck the scoreboard, the Liberty Bells are now enjoying an 11-point lead. We take back what we earlier said that was only a 9-point lead. Liberty Bells 184. The New Skids on the block 173.
Some change to the scoreboard just there during this timeout. A couple of points being added for both teams.
As we get closer to 10 o'clock, Arena St. Louis has been drinking, let's say, since 6.
First bout started at 6.
So they're getting a little bit rowdy, a little bit jeering. Montreal has no love lost for the boys in striped shirts. Boys and girls in striped shirts, let's say. So they're not entirely sure what's going on, but they know they don't like it. Of course, their jeering has been replaced by a Let's Go New Skids chant. I really hope that there's someone at home chanting along, "Let's go New Skids, clap, 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 clap." He's by himself, or by herself.
Philadelphia fans have to be sitting on their hands right now, super excited. Come from behind to this final minute 25. 50-point lead at 1 point, and the Liberty Bells just ate up that lead and took it themselves.
The Liberty Bells handing off that pivot cap to the veteran, V Diva. We have V Diva as pivot, and who's jamming now for the Liberty Bells, Scott?
That is number 100, Antidotes.
This game so much closer, so much more exciting than was initially predicted. Antidote looking for a quickly jam into the first turn. She has it.
She just runs right over Cheese Grater, and here's the lead jammer. Castro being called off. An out of play penalty. Antidote slowly skating around turn number 3, looks at the clock, sees 1 minute remaining.
Antidote slowing down. She looks like she's going to try to decide whether or not she's going to try to kill the natural clock.
Well, she does not want to pick up a penalty. Georgia W. Tush has completed her initial pass. Georgia W. Tush cuts through on the inside. She has to back up as V Diva knocked her out of bounds. And 4 points picked up by Antidotes.
25 seconds on the clock, 1 minute remaining in this jam if nobody manages to call it off.
Cheese Grater sent for a clockwise block. Tush with 1 to beat. Oh, V Diva knocks her out, but backs up too far. She's got to let her go. Tush cuts through.
Looks like there are almost too many people in the box for the Liberty Bells.
6 points separating them. Antidote calls off the jam. Looking at the scoreboard, the unofficial score right now. The Philadelphia Liberty Bells, 190. The New Skids on the block, 182. Your winners, the Philadelphia Liberty Bells.
And this game was so much closer than we were initially predicting coming in. We were looking at a huge Liberty Bells advantage. Regardless of the loss, you have to say that the New Skids sent a message to the rest of the WFTDA, coming close to the second-ranked team in the Eastern Division by only 8 points separating these two teams.
That is true, Stacks, but I don't want to take anything away from Philadelphia. They were down by up to 50 points at one point in this bout. They came back slow, steady, determinedly, and they won this bout.
They definitely dug deep, and they found their stride, and they managed to eke out the win. Both teams putting on a tremendous show and a tremendous amount of talent and perseverance in terms of the Liberty Bells coming back from that win, and in terms of the New Skids holding on to that lead for as long as they did against the team that is ranked number 2 in the East.
Yeah, this definitely sends a message to the rest of the Eastern Division of WFTDA. Montreal will just, you never know. They'll take a bite out of you. You don't know.
Even with an 8-point lead, I would agree with what you said earlier in this boutcast. This is an 8-point lead is still almost qualifies as an upset for the New Skids on the block.
I don't think anyone would have predicted this bout would be this close. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're waiting for the MVPs to be announced. The MVPs of this bout brought to you, of course, by Holy Crap Cereal.
They bring you the MVPs right to your door.
They are the most valuable players from the most valuable cereals.
Okay.
There's no cereal more valuable than the Holy Crap.
If you were to... Holy Crap is the gold standard of delicious, nutritious cereal.
That's right. Yeah.
If Fort Knox protected cereal instead of gold, it would be protecting Holy Crap cereal.
It's the cereal of the pharaohs.
We saw Ray Volver helping Deb seriously on her victory lap. Deb seriously is hurt. We don't know if how much of an impact this is going to have for the Liberty Bells going forward. And now tons of Montreal fans here at Arena St. Louis coming out, congratulating the losing team, but still the home team, for the New Skids on the block. Once again, the final score is Liberty Bells 190, New Skids on the block 182. That is no longer an unofficial final. That is the final score up on the board.
And this is going to be the bout that people are going to be talking about all week long. You saw it here on Canuck Derby TV.
I'm going to try not to have a conversation that doesn't start with, did you see the Liberty Bells New Skids bout?
What reason could you have for not having seen it?
Like at the bank, where they're like, are you going to make an exchange for money? I'm like, no, I am going to do that, but that's going to be later. But first, did you see the Liberty Bells and the New Skids on the block bout?
Exactly. I mean, you know.
At the grocery store, buying your bus pass, at any time, it's an okay time to talk about this bout.
Dropping your kids off at daycare?
Sure. If you have a mandatory court-appointed hearing for anything, just before you make your official statement, talk about this bout.
Between foreplay and coitus.
Sure. Exactly. You're getting the job done. Everybody's riled up, and you're like, by the way, before we go any further, did you know that the Liberty Bells beat the New Skids on the block by only 8 points? Saturday night. Let's say, is this May 18th? Yeah.
The MVP brought to you by Holy Crap of the Philadelphia Liberty Bells of Vanessa the Diva Seitz.
She is your MVP for the winning team, the Philadelphia Liberty Bells. And this is as voted, if I'm not mistaken, by the New Skids on the block themselves. And now we're waiting for the Montreal MVP on the losing team, the New Skids on the block.
Number 516, the Iron Wench.
2-time or 3-time fan favorite vote in the Montreal Roller Derby?
A lot.
She's an a lot time winner of the fan favorite MVP vote.
Multiple time winner.
That's right.
She's got awards all over her shelf.
Just all over herself.
Shelf.
All over her shelf?
Yes, I said shelf.
Okay.
A little hug between Teflon Donna and the Iron Wench, as Iron Wench is the MVP for Montreal.
This was an absolutely incredibly tight game between the Montreal New Skids on the block and the Liberty Bells. You gotta wonder what the ramifications are going to be throughout the league, if not throughout the Eastern Division of the WFTDA. But I think that's it for us. Single Malt Scott, are we signing off?
That is right, Private Stacks. Thank you all of us for joining us here on Canuck Derby TV. And have un bonsoir.
We will see you next time.